everyone, Melissa here with my second installment in my Birthstone series. I'm really excited to be doing this one. This is February. I'm going to be doing Amethyst, and I love purple marbles, as you probably have seen. So I wanted this to be definitely different than the purple marbles that I've done before. So I went with kind of the polished amethyst stone marble look, like this. So I'm excited to work through this. The colors I'm going to be using today, I have double dipped lavender glow because it's a nice sheer purple, and it'll allow you to see kind of layers going through the way that polished stone kind of shows. A little bit of depth and some marbling on the inside too. So that's kind of what the idea that we're going to be going for. I'm going to be using Double Dipped When You Were Mine, a little bit in the marble. It's a darker purple, a solid. And then Casper the Friendly Ghost for white. That means that I'm going to have some glowing marble nails. So that'll be fun. And then I have Double Dipped Angel Wings. I'm just going to wear that. It's a nice purple shimmer on some of the other nails. I'm only going to be marbling 2 nails, and then the rest will be dipped out in color. So for this, it's kind of done in a way where all of the dip powder that I put into the spoon will be able to be put back into the lavender glow jar. So I'm not actually wasting any powder, which is great, because it is a lighter purple and it's the same tone as When You Were Mine, or that a little bit of it and the white from Casper kind of balances out that darkness and leaves it about the same color. So I'll just put the rest in there, and it doesn't really change the color of lavender glow. That's what we're going for. But you'll see how we do this. So my nails here, I already have my builder gel on. I've done a layer of gel no wipe top coat, and then 2 layers of peel base so that I can pop these off when I want to change them again. Now I'm just going to do a layer of dip base on each nail and let it dry, just because peel base does cause your base liquid to dry quicker, and I want to not have that happen. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and dip the solid or the straight colors I'm gonna be doing. I'm going to do lavender glow on these 2 and angel wings here. My marbles will be here. Okay, now I have those purples down, can get into the marble. So my first layer I'm going to have as mostly lavender glow. So we're going to pour quite a bit of that into the spoon. I'm gonna have enough to lay the nail into. Okay, now I'm going to get the When You Were Mine, the darker purple, and just use the pusher end of my cuticle pusher to scoop up just a bit, and I'm topping it on kind of in a diagonal pattern, just a little. I'm going to be putting less and less of this in each layer I do, so I don't want the dark purple to be really prominent. I want it to kind of be on the inside and just give depth. So I'm going to add that, and then I'm also going to add some white in there in the same way. Now usually when I do this marble method, I go back and forth one way, and then I go back and forth the opposite way. I'm not going to be doing that this time. I'm going to get my little dotting tool, and I'm just going to go back and forth in the same diagonal that I've already laid out with the powder. I'm gonna give it a little tap tap to level. And then we'll go ahead and paint the nail and lay it in. If you think you need a little bit more of one of the colors on top for the next nail, you can add just a little bit more, which I'm going to do with the white just in the center here. And we will lay the next nail in. All right, so here's our first coat. For the next layers, I'm actually, like I said before, it's kind of like the darker purple and the white will mix together to make it this lighter purple. So pouring it right back into this jar is not going to change the color of the original color by anything noticeable. And I'm just shaking that to mix it all back up together, because this time we're going to do the same thing, except I'm going to be adding some additional clear in to the lavender glow in the base. And I'm doing this because I want to make each layer I add on just a little bit more sheer to show more of what's underneath. I don't want to cover the marble under. I want it to have depth. So I'm going to put some lavender glow in. And then I'm going to grab my clear and scoop some of that right on top. And then we're going to mix that all together. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing again, putting a little bit of the purple on top. This time I'm going to lay this finger in first and this one in last. That way you get an even spread, because it seems like I lost some purple in this one. I want to make sure I get a good amount in this one this time. And I'm going to be, I had it coming in a diagonal this way the first time. I'm going to have it coming down this way this time. So I'm flipping the diagonal in a different direction for the next layer. Okay, so far so good. Now we're gonna do the same thing that we did the first time. I'm going to pour all of this in here, and again, the additional clear that was added is not going to change the color of the original color, because this was already a pretty sheer color. So with the addition of the high pigment and the clear, it's gonna even itself out. All right, we're gonna do this one more time. I'm going to lay some out, and this time, not putting purple in to the marble. It's just gonna be white. So we're going back to the original diagonal. I'm gonna do good amount of just white lines. Okay, and that's the final marble layer, so I'm going to go ahead and just put the rest of this back. And this is not going to work with every color you have. The only reason that I'm doing it this way is because I know it's not going to change the color too much, at least for my own comfort. If you're not comfortable doing this, of course don't do it. It's something that I'm okay with. Alright, so here's our final marble look so far. I'm going to do just a small dip of clear over the top, and then I'm going to file all of the nails and get them ready for the last addition to the marble that I want to add. Okay, once you have them filed up to a place where you're happy, you can leave it like this. It's a beautiful look, or you can be crazy like me. So I always have to do more and add a little bit of white alcohol ink. Just add a touch more of that hairline look on top and give a little more depth to it. So I'm going to pour a little bit of alcohol in here. That's what was in here before. Just a little bit of rubbing alcohol. And then on this side, I'm going to put a little bit of my Pinata white alcohol ink, which is already here and all dried up. Okay, now I'm going to get some, I'm using just this little Beetles gel polish detail brush, and I'm going to be going back and forth into the white alcohol ink and into the alcohol, trying to dilute this quite a lot. The white alcohol ink is not as easy to play with as the colored ones are. It dries and it likes to stay where it dries. So I'm going to kind of go against the grain of the original, or the lines that are there. Just kind of throw ink down everywhere, every once in a while, in places. No real rhyme or reason, just kind of making it look natural. In Amethyst, the white lines kind of cross over themselves a lot. Make like triangle shapes and just all kinds of cool crack shapes. So I'm just kind of going over in different directions. You know, the white looks really heavy right now in this, but it's gonna kind of dull itself down a little bit when the top coat's put on. Okay, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I have a tendency to overwork things and putting them into a place where I don't like them anymore. So I'm going to push this stuff aside and put the brush down. And I am going to do a layer of dip base to encapsulate the design in before activating and top coating. Okay, once you do that layer of base, that kind of encapsulates the design, then we can just activate all of the nails and do our top coat. And there we are with our really fun amethyst kind of polished stone marble. I really love how these turned out, and I hope you did too. If you have any questions or suggestions for me or requests for future months, feel free to let me know. I'd be happy to hear them. But as always, if you enjoyed this, don't forget to like and subscribe and look out for the future months throughout the year. And I will see you next time.